Thank you. Okay. Welcome. Apologies for the delay. Okay, I'm a bit. Is this okay? I've got a feeling I've got some echo. But yeah. So my name is Hogenwoning. I work at the external relations team throughout NCC. Technical advisor, together with my colleague Anton and Maxime, who are here as well. And this is practical steps to start IPv6 deployment. And this was meant to be a really short presentation, so I'm going to keep it short. Where does this come from? Well, don't let the suit fool you. I am an engineer. True story, deploying IPv6 in a big network. Before I joined the NCC, before I joined external relations, I was an engineer, worked for a larger Dutch ISP, approximately 250,000 DSL lines. And we deployed IPv6. Introducing that took the bigger part of 3 years. Actually, the history within Access for All and IPv6 goes back much longer. We started way back in 1999, 2000 with initial deployment of IPv6 providing tunnel service. Numerous things had to be fixed, both internally to our software, externally waiting for vendors to come up with bug fixes. We really reinvented the wheel, we were pioneering. And basically what we did was we gradually deployed it. So we got a small pilot group of people who knew what they were doing. And this moved along until we came to like, okay, we're going to launch it as a product, as an opt-in service. Now I'm happy to say that very recently, just a few weeks back, they finally made the step to switch it on for all existing customers. Like I said, I started in 2007. It took them until 2014 to make that step. This is what's needed. And I think the main message here is when you deploy IPv6, we always tend to be really pushy. Do it now, act now, you know, that's our website, IPv6 act now. Well, deploying IPv6 is not done overnight. You can't just go in and switch it on. Well, you can, but there is a certain amount of risk involved, a certain amount of breakage involved. It takes time. Take one step at a time, gain experience, building trust and confidence, because I think that's the main part. Technically, IPv6 can be done, but you have to explain it to your boss. You have to convince your managers, you have to convince your investors that you're not taking a risk, that you won't harm the network. And I think that's also, keep in mind, the most common understanding is it's about switching on IPv6, it's not about switching off IPv4. It's in addition to your network, it's not a replacement, and that's often misunderstood, especially by less technical people. So some practical tips then. We've got very big IPv6 courses. Sandra can tell you all about it. That range from 1-day to 5-day IPv6 roadshow events. The summary here is make a plan. Get the necessary training and education. Like I said, we've got multiple courses available. Our colleagues from ISOC has tons of material available on our website. We've got webinars. You can all look it up. Create an inventory of services and equipment. That's the other big thing, is know what you're planning for, know what you're aiming for. Replace and rebuild what's needed, switch on IPv6 and job done. This is basically your IPv6 deployment plan on one slide. The real magic there is sort the priorities. You might want to change things around in this plan. You might not want to do it all in one go. And as it says here, shortcut any dependencies. Sometimes you just run into a tiny little problem that will take 6 months or a year to fix. Okay, put it aside, go somewhere else. Try to not get stuck. Try not to delay the whole plan because one element fails. Try to work around it. I hope you're all engineers, you know how to implement workarounds. Do it responsibly, but go around. Create a training area or test bed. As I said, educating is one of the more important things. Get the necessary training and education. And I see so many people attending training courses. I briefly, for about 2 years, worked in the NCC training department, delivering these courses. And then people come to your training course and they go home and don't do anything with it. Well, practice makes perfect. So you need to place where you can practice, where you can gain more experience. Developments go really fast. If you attend the training course now, in 6 months everything will be different. So what you need to do is find or create a place where it's safe to make errors, because you are going to make errors. That's just fact of life. You're going to implement something completely new. Somewhere sooner or later you're going to make a small typo or a more larger design error. But it also solves the other big problem, and that's convincing the people around you, convincing your managers, convincing your investors that you know what you're doing and you're not going to break the network. What better if you can show them a working prototype, if you can show them a demo. Here's the new software working with IPv6, and yes, everything still works as it's supposed to be. We didn't break anything. Now this can be at your office, but often this can also be your home. You can do this at home. Boost your own confidence. Work on this. IPv6 skills are becoming a requirement for network engineers. Maybe it's not for your job right away, but for your future career, consider using IPv6. So how do you do that? Well, get connected via a tunnel. As I said, you want to practice. You want to test before you deploy it in your network. And the easiest way is to set up a tunnel and kind of bypass your not IPv6 ready network and have some test bed. Basic connectivity can be arranged via tunnels and suitable for small scale tests, learning purposes. You can make those mistakes, we've got it working. So there are several tunnel brokers, name a few, 6Access, Hurricane Electric, there are others there. The funny thing with Hurricane Electric is that in the later stage you can switch that tunnel to support BGP. So when you're ready to get slightly further advanced stuff in your network and actually want to see how BGP routing and global routing will work in IPv6, you can use the same tunnel. Others available, as I said, I always like the Saudi Arabian example where actually the regulator set up a tunnel service within the country for network engineers to test and practice. So they did their own stuff. They created that test bed so others can create a test bed. Get your IPv6 connectivity, get it sorted, get a tunnel, start practicing. The other big thing I want to say as a practical tip is stop wasting money. I can't put it more direct than that. Almost anything you buy these days that comes IPv4 only for sure has an alternative that also supports IPv6. It might be slightly more expensive, it might be slightly harder to get. You might have to put a bit of pressure on one of your suppliers. But remember that in the long run it will save you time and money. Because introducing IPv4 only equipment at this stage, when you need to deploy IPv6 at some point, will only make things worse. Because you're going to end up replacing it and you're going to hit that wall that it doesn't support IPv6. So, and this really is the cheap way out, is alter your purchasing procedures and demand IPv6. That one comes for free, you know? Just tell your suppliers, no, I'm not going to take your products because it doesn't do IPv6. The other thing is don't forget your internal software, your own provisioning tools, your own billing software. And as I said before, if you're going to talk to your internal programmers, what better than if you can provide them with a test bed? Here is something that runs IPv6, have a look at it, test it, feel it, smell it, learn how to work with it. So see the previous slides and also offer these people your test bed. And don't reinvent the wheel. You're not the only one deploying IPv6, basically the whole industry is working on it. So share your experiences and also have other people share their experiences. Ask questions that you know people have solved. Last week or so, the US market crossed the 10%. So 10% of the US internet market has access to IPv6. Countries like Belgium, Switzerland, they're way over 25%. There are big operators that do that. So it is possible. And they've made the mistakes, so you can probably learn from their experience. So we've got websites, labs.ripe.net, we've got the IPv6 working group that's active in RIPE, where you can use to share your experiences. And of course, meetings such as this. We bring you together at ENOG, at regional meetings all over the place. And the primary purpose is to share your experience, exchange knowledge, and talk about what keeps you busy. And I sure hope that IPv6 is one of those things. And there are lots of people who are happy to help. As a matter of fact, who here has deployed IPv6? I forgot to ask that in the rush of getting on stage. I see a few. Can I see a hand? See Jaap there, Nigel there. See somebody in the back here. Ah, see, there's a few, 4, 5, 6. Look around, see those faces. We've got people here who actually went through this project, who did this. We've got some experience. So I've got a little homework assignment for you. There's a reception tonight, and we're all going to be there. Just do me a favor, ask at least one IPv6 related question. Get started right now, right here. Make use of the resources we have. And that pretty much, I said, was all I have to say. That's the most practical tip. So happy to take a few questions. If you allow me to switch on the translating equipment, I can also take questions in Russian.
I have some practical questions about a DSL connection and IPv6. We have a bunch of old and DSL modems. It's only support IPv4. How to solve this problem? As I know, no DSL modem supports IPv6. How to solve this problem?
What we did was basically make sure that if the modem breaks, and sure DSL modems do break, probably after a few years, is make sure that whatever replacement comes along supports IPv6. From what my experience, and that's the Dutch market, we on an annual basis replace about 10% of your modems. Okay, it's still a 10-year project, but sooner or later you're going to move along. Like I said, the primary thing there is if you introduce something, and also what really helped us in our case was we introduced a new video service, and the video service required people to update their modems, which is great because they're going to buy something they really want. They're buying the video service, and on the background we sneak in the IPv6 support. So that's stuff you can try and do to expedite it. And the other thing is consider offering tunnels. At least make sure that people can work around that modem by offering some sort of tunnel setup.
Oh. Okay, thanks.
Marco, what do you think? What is the most effective solution from the customer side to push the network operator running IPv6?
Do you mean the incentive? What will drive the customer to IPv6?
As an example, I am a customer. I still have no native IPv6 in my office.
The practical thing is if somebody else offers it, vote with your feet, as they say. Find somebody who does. It's the same as a customer. Reconsider your purchasing plans. Reconsider your purchasing requirements. And of course, just phone up your ISP. Maybe do it every week. Get them. Keep pushing them. Call your account manager. I know it sounds pretty stupid, but that's the only way to, as a customer, is put pressure on your suppliers. It keeps going down the chain.
So to just stop paying their invoices, right?
Yeah, as Paul showed, there's, for instance, in this country, 34% or 38% of the networks support IPv6. So there must be a supplier that can deliver it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a matter of finding them and actually supporting their efforts by giving them some of your money. It's that says. Stop wasting money, and that basically goes for network operators as well as customers. So it's the value chain that you need to alter.
Probably I will send them your presentation.
Okay, well, please do. We're happy to have a chat with them and see if we can help them deploy IPv6.
Good, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So please, see you tonight at the reception and have a chat about IPv6. Thank you.